Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jake, this is Nadia. The doggies are running around downstairs. Today we are talking about Joker 2, or as it's properly known, Joker Folie à Deux.
Yeah.
French. Neither of us had seen Joker. We watched it last night. No, the night before last. We can talk about that. We can talk about our feelings about the original Joker. But mostly we want to start out talking about Joker 2, what it adds, what all the fuss is about, because there's a lot of controversy around the reaction to this movie. And so we haven't spoken about this at all. I'm really curious to hear what you thought of this musical sequel to a non-musical Joker. So tell me, what did you think of this?
Well, first of all, I'm not aware of any controversy. I didn't realize there were any.
There's not really controversy, except what I mean is it's more divisive reception.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not aware of that too.
It's getting very bad reviews.
Oh, okay. I guess you'll be surprised to, first of all, let me lead my rating by me giving it 7 out of 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what you're going to rate it, but I just wanted to lead with that since you're saying it's getting bad reviews.
Okay.
I mean, we watched it, like Jake was saying, back to back. So we watched the first Joker, then the second night we went to theater and watched the second one.
Well, curiously, what would you rate the first Joker?
I would rate it the same, 7 out of 10.
So you'd give them both 7 out of 10?
Yeah, but for different reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's completely different film because the second one is a musical. Mm-hmm. But the character arc and the character struggle and everything else is very similar. The sentiment, I feel like, behind two movies are very similar. The only thing that makes the second one different is the musical. Otherwise, I would have rated it probably like 3 or 4 out of 10 because you kind of feel like you're watching this first movie as terms of the plot line. Like, and I don't mean by saying that everything from the first movie is duplicated. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the character arc in the sense of what he goes through internally, what he comes to accept about himself.
I disagree that it's the same arc, but I would say that he is basically a static character in both movies.
And I think that Joaquin, if anyone else would have played this character except for Joaquin Phoenix or a lot of other ones, it would have been really bad. You could just see what a great actor Joaquin Phoenix is just by the way he's able to put some dimension and otherwise one-noted written character. I think
he's the only reason why the first one, not the only reason, but I think he's the main reason why the first movie works at all.
And the second movie kind of reminded me of, I mean, this is from Joaquin Phoenix too, but Beau is Afraid. And I can get into that in the spoiler section, but yeah, I understand why it's a divisive movie because there's parts of it that is really out there. What happens to him is very unexpected. It's very creative. There is animation in the film where you're going inside.
Literal animation.
Yeah, literal animation.
At the beginning of the movie starts
where you're going inside Joaquin or Joker's head and his thoughts.
Arthur Fleck.
Yeah, and you get to Arthur Fleck. Yep, and then you get to, is he Arthur Fleck or is he the Joker?
That's what the whole movie is about. Yeah.
You get to see why he's making these insane choices. I watched a lot of Justice League and other things, and Joker was always this like animated character that you just are like, he's a Joker. He's in clown costume. He's just mentally insane. Both movies, but especially I think the second one, you really understand and get to humanize him. I wanted him to win. The way that he acts, the way that like we're able to see inside his head, you just understand. Not doesn't mean you condone, but you understand what got him to where he was and why his thought process is the way it is. That's the interesting part about the film is that you really
the first movie, right?
And the second too. Oh, okay. With Joaquin's portrayal, as well as the way that the set is designed, the way that the story plots unfold. You get to see him instead of a villain, you see him more as sympathetic character. He doesn't really eat. When we see him in cafeterias a lot, and there's a lot of different things going on, we don't see him like jumping at the chance to eat. And I think that's kind of the same thing. He kind of lets himself stay hollow mentally.
Well, I think the movie's hollow, essentially.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, well, first I want to talk about Joker, the first movie, because I do think it works as a movie. I don't think you can say the same of the sequel, although I think the sequel is doing more interesting stuff than the first one. So the first one is firing on all cylinders with the performance, the directing. Both of these movies look beautiful. They have just gorgeous cinematography, especially for a comic book movie, quote unquote, even though these movies try so hard to be like, we're not like those comic book movies, you know, we're cool. We're referencing Scorsese. And ultimately, the heart of with the Joker is that it feels really hollow and it feels very drawn out, the first movie, to a point of like, yeah, we're doing Taxi Driver, we're doing the King of Comedy, we're doing alienated guy who has been harmed by society, and the point is very in your face and it's a tragedy, but it still has suspense. There's good scenes, there's violence, and you know, there's stuff happening, and you're seeing a progression of his character going from weak guy who's getting a bad rep from society to the Joker, basically. So there's like a sense of progress in the story. The sequel, you have to wonder, what were they thinking when they went into this movie? And I have to think that Todd Phillips and this other writer, I forget his name, almost feel like they hate the reception and they hate the way people reacted to the original Joker, which at the time there were legitimate conversations in the media about the Joker is going to radicalize people. The Joker is going to make like young incels like want to go shoot someone, you know,
similar
like
to the film itself.
Exactly. People are like, this is a bad sign for people. And the movie comes out and it's like a huge phenomenon. People love it, but there's not like any violence as a result of Joker, you know? It's a DC movie about a character that people love, and great performances, and it's a pretty good movie. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, not that below mine.
The first Joker, I mean, I have problems with like the pacing and everything, but when they came to the sequel, you have to think like, okay, like how do we have all like a blank check to do whatever we want? It had so much success, so let's get wild with it, and maybe let's do a commentary about the reaction to the first movie. Let's make a statement about what people are seeing in the Joker character. And this whole movie ends up litigating that whole idea of the reaction. It's very meta in a way when you think about it. It's all about a trial. You know, the Joker's on trial. It's all about the media frenzy and reaction, how everyone's obsessed with the Joker. Lady Gaga plays a fan of the Joker, you know. So there's all of these elements. And at the heart of it is the same somber tone of this guy, Arthur Fleck. He's in pain and he's sad, and he's kind of wavering between, is he the Joker or is he Arthur Fleck? And I think the movie really wants us to buy into this argument, because his lawyer, his attorney, is trying to argue to the jury that he has a split personality. And it's at this point in the movie when I'm wondering, what are we trying to say about who this character is? Because we all, especially having just watched the first Joker, we know what happened. We know that it wasn't a split personality.
So that's all of today's video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you. Peace.